Yes, folks, we're back. We're back. This is ETV, folks, and I am here with Daniel. Daniel has been kind enough to help us learn a little bit about cigarettes, but at the same time, for those of you that have quit, there's vape, right? So Daniel used to be a smoker, and he's here to let us know exactly what it felt being a smoker and the fact that he's changed now to vape and all that, and those that look like cigarettes and all that. Dan, thank you so much and all that. Tell me something, that because back in the days, in the 60s and 50s, the cigarettes was in fashion. There was adverts everywhere. At the moment, it's been changed now. Mm-hmm. What people out there want to know is what actually makes a smoker. You being a used to smoker, how does it actually feel?
So I think I started smoking initially when I was like 14, something like that. 14? I think the first cigarette I ever had, me and my friend found when we were 10, right? Wow, so this is 10. Going back to 93, right? But beyond that, didn't smoke till I was 14, something like that. And I do remember at the time, because it's the peer pressure thing, right? Because your first cigarette is horrible, right? It's not nice, you have to work at it. So it's I think in terms of smoking, a lot of, I say my generation, probably different for newer generations, but I think a lot of it was that kind of schoolyard, everybody else is smoking, so let's smoke. And you do have to try, and obviously it's a highly addictive thing, and then when you're on that railroad,
Okay. So peer pressure and all that, and I think that's what it comes out. So it's not about then the fashion, because a lot of people try to put that into fashion.
Yeah, so I think there's it's always been viewed as cool, right? It's cool in movies, when whoever it is smokes a cigarette to calm down and things like that. There's definitely a societal thing of it's cool, and I guess this is why there were so many sort of the advertisements and stuff like that were banned, because people you can't make it look cool. I didn't smoke because I thought it was cool. The minute you're smoking, it's a highly addictive, nicotine is highly addictive, right? So you're on that constantly needing kind of more, so you sort of forget that initial thing. As I say, for me, I started smoking when I was a teenager. I was basically a child,
and you were probably bored.
Yeah, and it's it was never I want to look like James Dean or anything like that. It was I'm a kid and the other kids are doing it, so I'll do that. It's hang out with the cool kids.
So how long, for example, because a lot of people also want to know is that they're trying to figure out, is it the fact that people that are smokers, because some of them are saying they can't stop. So you actually decided to stop and are doing something else now.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that I've stopped, because vaping, although from all of the medical stuff and everything is less bad for you, you're basically sort of taking nicotine in and not any of the tar or anything like that. Obviously long-term effects still not known, but the view is that it is healthier for you than smoking straight cigarettes.
So for you, being healthy in the sense of, so somebody, let's say that's a proper smoker and they're smoking, I don't know, maybe a 10-pack a day. Mm-hmm. Are those the ones that they should be worried, or?
More so than anyone that's vaping,
right.
But I think anyone that has an addiction, even if it's as simple as an addiction to nicotine, even if it's doing you no harm, you need to be kind of aware of that. I talk about vaping now, but that's because I started, I was a smoker and I was asthmatic, right? It's the worst. My dad died of lung cancer, right? I've got there's all these extra things being you need to stop. So I don't view myself as a forever vapor. I don't think, that I'd rather not be doing it.
Right. So okay, but you said something interesting also about not continuing, but also you actually understand the fact that you can stop. And you can make an effort to stop and probably avoid it. Do you think you will? The vape, just the vape now, because you're not in cigarettes anymore.
Yeah, that's always been the plan. It's we can do another of these interviews in a year or something.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Do a catch up. So I've quit smoking before. So basically, as I say, I started maybe when I was 14. I quit when I was 24, 25. Quit for a year and a half. Completely. I've read that there's a Alan Carr Easy Way to Quit Smoking, which is a good book. It's kind of, it tries to it makes you kind of think about it in terms of a sort of mental kind of thing rather than a this thing, you don't really need to use willpower. You need to convince yourself that actually, because at the end of the day, it's difficult with the vape because you're not having like a one thing at the same time, right? With a pack of cigarettes, you're getting one, right? So you're like, I smoke a cigarette an hour. So usually, and most people I know will take a break, say at work, every hour, go outside, have a cigarette, come back, and then be like, because that's about how long it takes for nicotine to sort of like leave enough of your system for you to be craving.
So do you think that anybody, even like myself and all that, I mean, I'm like super fit and all that, but do you think like somebody like me can also become, addicted to cigarette?
Yeah, I think it's like there are very, very few people that are not liable to addiction to nicotine. Luckily, as I say, like the first time you smoke a cigarette, like it's horrible, it's difficult, right? Because you're inhaling like smoke.
Yeah.
So I don't think, unless you're actively trying to become a smoker, it's very difficult to start on that road.
Okay. So, because the thing is, I've always wondered about that, like the people that become smokers and such and all that. Because for me, I think the cigarette must have a good taste. Like, for example, I like my chicken.
Yeah.
So I think if I had a cigarette that tasted like chicken, and I can kill me a chicken. I can rip it apart, get the feathers off and cook it. So I think if I had, let's say, a cigarette that tasted like chicken, I think I'd probably be addicted. Because for me, it has to be by taste.
Yeah. And this is what I mean about the kind of like, there's very few people I know who have become sort of addicted as adults, really. Like it is that childhood peer pressure. And I think there is, like in terms of vaping as well, there is something that we're like sort of seeing at schools and stuff, right, where kids are starting vaping and things like that. Like I think the people who the industry that the vaping industry when it started was very much like, we're here for people who want to quit smoking, but in a sort of cheating way because you're having nicotine. But I think like what you've just touched on there is that with vaping you can like make a cigarette taste like anything, right?
Definitely, because to me it has to taste good and all that. I mean, I like people like, they say, chicken is dry, chicken breast is dry and all that. I love it because I know what it does for me. I mean, it literally, hold on a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about, because it's good to show what it does and all. I mean, that's, you get me, from eating chicken breast, so it's good in a way that you're saying that you're willing to also stop. Now, are you going to give yourself a time? Because this will be good, folks, if we get a time frame for you.
On a time frame. So are we going to be playing softball next year as well?
Next year, yeah, we're playing.
Cool. What's the date today? Sunday the 10th. Let's say 10th of October. 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. 1 year, folks. 1 year. 1 year. 1 year. You're going to actually say now.
Well, we can come back. We'll do an interview in a year, and then if I'm still vaping.
Yeah. Because I reckon we'll do this. We'll do a little challenge. Folks. If you stop in 1 year, what we'll do is we'll test you to see how many press-ups you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good, folks. Because you can do it now if you want.
Nah.
Yeah, all right. No, nowhere. But it's good. It's good. But it's good what you're saying also about, the changes that people are willing to do. And I think people should be able to also give themselves that goal. So you're giving yourself a year, which is perfect. Perfect, folks. It's about a goal, and I think if you set the goal, like most people, I think you can succeed. Anybody can succeed.
I think so. I think, as I say, like I didn't go into too much depth of it, but as I say, like I quit for like a year and a half, mid-20s.
Yeah.
And then I went to university as a mature student, and it was like everyone there again, smoking. You sort of have a few drinks, and then it's it's like that back of the mind thing.
Yeah.
Because I think and that's the thing you need to work on. Definitely. And I think, as I say, I've wanted to quit vaping since I started, right? Which is, even though I know it's not as bad for me, it's still an addiction.
And I reckon also that it would help also once you stop, because I reckon you'll be doing exercise. Get into it, because it does. Like for me, obviously, I'm the only thing I'm addicted to is chicken breast, probably, in the gym.
Yeah,
you get me. But it works. You get me. And I think if we find certain things, that we like, I think it helps out quite a lot. So what we'll do, Daniel, we'll check again with you next year to see where you are. We'll come to the same place, folks. Regents Park here. We'll come to the same place. Daniel will be here, and we'll see within a year. No, we'll probably put a 10-pound bet. Should we put a 10
you wanna
pound,
put
10 pound
10
bet?
pounds on that?
10 pound bet, folks. 10 pound, 10 pound. Thank you so much, Daniel, and everything, all that. Brilliant guy, folks. So, folks, take care of yourself. If you love and like, make sure you click on that little button there that you see and just say, yes, I love it, and I want to see you guys again. We'll be back again with another program. Take care of yourself and each other. Dan, thank you so much, my man.
Cheers, bro.
Brilliant. I love him. All right. Brilliant, Dan. Yes.